The Whispers. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by dense forests, there lived a young girl named Sarah. Sarah lived a normal life with her parents and younger brother until one day, strange things started to happen. Every night, she would hear strange whispers coming from the darkness, and strange shadows would appear in her room, even when there were no lights on. Despite her parents' efforts to assure her that it was just her imagination playing tricks on her, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. She was too scared to sleep at night and would often spend hours huddled under her covers, listening to the whispers. One night, when the whispers became louder and more persistent, Sarah mustered up the courage to go outside and investigate. As she stepped into the darkness, she was met with a pair of glowing eyes staring back at her. She screamed and ran back to her room, only to find that the door was locked from the outside. Sarah was trapped and she could hear the whispers getting closer and closer. Suddenly, the door creaked open and a figure emerged from the darkness. It was a tall, gaunt creature with long, spindly arms and a face that was nothing more than a gaping maw filled with razor-sharp teeth. Sarah was paralyzed with fear as the creature slowly made its way towards her. She tried to scream for help, but no sound escaped her lips. Just when the creature was about to lunge at her, she woke up. It was all a nightmare. However, the nightmare did not end there. The creature started to appear more and more frequently in her dreams, and she soon realized that it was no longer just a figment of her imagination. It was real, and it was after her. Sarah's parents tried to protect her by locking her in her room every night, but the creature always found a way. It started to torment her during the day as well, causing her to see things that weren't there and making her hear whispers even when she was surrounded by people. Desperate for help, Sarah turned to the village elders, who told her of a mysterious hermit who lived deep in the forests. It was said that he had the power to banish evil spirits and could help her get rid of the creature. Sarah set out on a journey to find the hermit, braving the dense forest and the dangers that lurked within. When she finally found him, the hermit listened to her story and agreed to help her. He performed a ritual, and the creature was finally banished back to the shadows where it belonged. Sarah returned home, relieved to be free from the nightmare that had haunted her for so long. However, she never forgot the terror that she had faced and lived the rest of her life in fear of the creature's return. The Cursed Forest. In a remote village, there lived a boy named Thomas. He was known to be a curious and adventurous child who loved exploring the forest surrounding the village. However, there was one part of the forest that he never dared to venture into, for it was said to be cursed. One day, Thomas overheard some of the villagers talking about hidden treasure that was buried deep within the cursed part of the forest. Despite the warning from the villagers, Thomas was determined to find the treasure and prove that the curse was nothing more than a myth. So, he set out on his journey into the heart of the cursed forest. At first, everything seemed fine and he was making good progress. But as he went deeper into the forest, strange things started to happen. The sky turned dark and the trees seemed to close in on him, as if they were trying to trap him. Suddenly, Thomas heard a voice calling out to him. It was a voice like he had never heard before, eerie and whispery. The voice seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It was tempting him, urging him to continue on his quest for the treasure. Despite his fear, Thomas pressed on, driven by his desire for the treasure. However, the deeper he went, the more the voice grew stronger and the more the forest seemed to come to life. Trees reached out to grab him, roots stripped him, and vines tried to strangle him. Just when Thomas thought he couldn't take it anymore, he finally stumbled upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a large chest. overflowing with gold and jewels. But as he reached out to grab the treasure, the chest suddenly sprang open and a cloud of darkness spilled out. The darkness enveloped Thomas, and he felt himself being pulled into a void. The voice that had been tempting him was now a screech of laughter, as Thomas realized too late that he had fallen for the curse of the forest. He was trapped in the void forever, his soul bound to the cursed treasure. The villagers never saw Thomas again, and to this day, no one knows what happened to him. But it is said that on quiet nights, you can still hear his screams coming from the heart of the cursed forest. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more stories.